I'm a huge fan of history. I'm a huge fan of documentaries and having debates and even presentations about things that have happened in history. It's always enlightening and a fantastic way to learn about our history, to learn about the past, and even sometimes learn about stuff that you might not really have much interest in. But for me, I think I am going to have to check out this History on Trial event. It's going to be at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Union Theater Tuesday. And what are they going to be focusing on? Well, they're going to be focusing on the Black Sox. So joining us now to talk about this event is John Lupton. He is with History on Trial with the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. John, thanks for taking time with us this morning. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So first, before we talk about the event coming up Tuesday and the topic that's going to be talked about deals with the Black Sox. Tell us about History on Trial and some of the previous things you guys have tackled in these conversations.
Sure. We've done 4 other History on Trial events where we've done retrials or dramatic presentations of famous trials that have occurred in the past, particularly in Illinois history. Probably one of our most prominent ones was we did a retrial of Mary Lincoln's insanity hearing.
Oh, wow.
And that got worldwide attention, which was great. But we also do these for a purpose. It's for, we're taking a modern public policy issue and we're relating that to a historical trial. And in this case with Mary Lincoln, it allowed, because a lot of people are dealing with elderly parents, elderly grandparents,
Sure.
And Robert Lincoln had to deal with the same thing with his mother.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And that was a previous iteration of History on Trial. But coming up Tuesday, and again, it's going to be at Union Theater at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum, you guys are taking a different focus and focusing on Major League Baseball and the Black Sox in particular. Tell us about this.
Right. The 1919 Chicago White Sox was...
the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're actually called the Black Sox because they're the ones who threw the series.
Okay.
But yes, it's the Chicago White Sox team.
See, and it's going to show, and listeners know this, I know nothing about Major League Sports. I know nothing about baseball in particular. So this is something that I could probably actually go and learn quite a bit about the history and the foundation of all of this. Okay, so tell us about the event Tuesday. What are you guys focusing on?
Great. Okay. Yeah, we're focusing on the 1919 World Series, which is the series that the Chicago White Sox allegedly threw to the Cincinnati Reds, and they ended up losing the World Series 5-3. And so 8 players were eventually kicked out of baseball for their involvement in this.
Oh, wow.
And they're the ones who are called the Black Sox. Now, the ones who were not involved, they're called the Clean Sox.
Interesting. What? So hold on a second. All right. We always hear of things being, maybe like a boxing match that's rigged or something like this. Is that, were those the allegations that were made back then? Is that this particular game was thrown?
Exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
the entire series was thrown. And there are a lot of myths that are out there about why the Black, and we really don't know why they did it. Because the White Sox actually were one of the more well-paid players. And that was the excuse for them doing, is that they were underpaid and that Comiskey was a miser and things like that. But we really don't know why they did it. But gambling was pretty prevalent in sports at that time. So it wasn't unusual. It's just that they got caught in the World Series and then a new commissioner said, no more baseball for you guys.
Oh, my gosh. So when people come to this, again, Tuesday at the Union Theater, Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum, it's the History on Trial Black Sox presentation at the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. Are there actors involved in this? Is it like a stage reading of sorts of the transcripts of this trial?
Yeah, sort of. We're doing a dramatic presentation. And then it's going to be followed by a panel discussion with both baseball and legal experts.
Oh, wow.
Right, so we're working with the DePaul University Theater School. So they're going to be doing the production side of it. So we'll have actors portraying various roles of the White Sox and the Reds and the legal teams and the judges and the juries and so forth.
So this is something that actually happened.
Correct.
It's an actual trial that took place in Illinois history and you'll be able to see a reenactment of that of sorts brought on by the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. It's going to be Tuesday at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum, the Union Theater. If people want to go to this, how do they get a spot secured?
You can buy tickets at our website. They are $15, and you can go to illinoiscourthistory.org/history-on-trial. Really easy. History
on Trial. And again, previously they've looked at, for instance, the trial of Mary Lincoln's sanity, and the one they've got planned delves into some history that's little known. I don't think many people realize that this was something that happened back in history. But you guys are, of course, with the Historic Preservation Commission, so you know all about it.
Right, and you were also aiming this towards lawyers and sports fans.
Right.
So you can get MCLE, lawyers can get MCLE credit by attending this.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because we're going to be discussing legal issues that relate to the trial.
All right, all my lawyer friends out there, you heard that, right? So it's like continued education credits, right? Oh, my gosh. So you can go and sit back and enjoy a historic reenactment of a little-known trial in Illinois about the White Sox throwing the World Series back how long ago?
This was the World Series in 1919. The trial was in 1921.
Wow. So, yeah, you get to learn about that and get credit for it. Nothing wrong with that. John Lupton with us. He's the executive director of the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. John, tell us about this organization and the mission that you guys have.
Sure. We're a state agency. We're basically the historical arm for the entire judicial branch. So we preserve Illinois' legal history, judicial history, and we do that with events like this. We're actually working on digitizing old Illinois Supreme Court case files at the Illinois State Archives. And we're also in the process of building a learning center or museum at the Supreme Court building.
So obviously a lot of work being done to educate and preserve history. It's so important that we have these efforts underway because, well, you're doomed to repeat your history if you don't know it. And what a better way to learn about our history than through a reenactment of sorts of a little and not really known trials that have happened in Illinois and American history. John Lupton, again, give us all the details that people need to know to get to the event Tuesday at the ALPLM. And what the event's all about.
Yes, right. So Tuesday, October 25th at the ALPLM, $15. You can go to illinoiscourthistory.org/history-on-trial. Get your tickets there, and we'll have a dramatic presentation of the entire thing, the series, the fix, and then of course the trial at the end. And sports fans really know a lot. This is probably one of the more iconic moments in baseball history.
Wow.
Just because of the gambling, and even has repercussions even to today. Pete Rose, for example, was banned from baseball permanently for gambling. This goes back to the 1919 White Sox.
Wow. And now we have sports betting legalized.
And now it's legal in Illinois. That's correct.
And I imagine that could very well be part of not just the conversations people are going to have with themselves afterwards, but you're going to have a panel discussion after the presentation, and this is something that could come up.
That's right. Yeah, I think it will come up because this is just brand new in Illinois, and
even though it's been going on,
even though it's been
for generations,
but no one talks
learned.
about it. Yeah, right. I mean, no one has ever gotten into an NCAA pool before.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So we'll definitely be talking about sports gambling.
Absolutely. Again, that's coming up Tuesday at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library, Union Theater, $15. Get your tickets in advance. It's with the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. And again, John, give us the website one more time.
illinoiscourthistory.org/history-on-trial.
That's John Upton. He is the executive director of the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission and History on Trial, the Black Sox. All looking into the World Series being thrown by some White Sox members, and they ultimately were tossed to the side and called the Black Sox, while you had some good players known as the Clean Sox. See, I don't know. These are things that I learned, so I'll learn even more when I go check this out Tuesday. Appreciate your time this morning, John, and we'll talk again soon, all right?
Thanks a lot for having me.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMA.